We're on the road in Minneapolis. I'm Amy Goodman, as we begin today with a look at the wave of sexual abuse allegations against Catholic priests all over the world. Earlier this month, Pope Benedict told victims of sexual abuse by priests in Malta that the Church was doing all it could to investigate the abuse accusations and bring those responsible to justice. But new revelations and claims of abuse continue to rock the Vatican. An investigation by the Associated Press suggests that Pope Benedict's hand-picked replacement to oversee abuse cases at the Vatican did nothing to restrict a California priest after learning that he had previously molested a 13-year-old boy. As the scandal spreads across Europe and Latin America, bishops in Ireland, Germany, and Belgium have resigned, and new abuse allegations are emerging in Norway and Chile. Here in the United States, an alleged victim of priest abuse in Wisconsin announced a lawsuit against the Vatican last week. The lawsuit alleges that Pope Benedict, in his former role as Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, and two senior Vatican officials failed to act when the Wisconsin Church reported the alleged abuse by the late Father Joseph Murphy in the 1990s. The Vatican says the lawsuit is without merit and, quote, rehashes old theories already rejected by U.S. courts. Well, for more, I'm joined here in Minneapolis by Jeff Anderson. He's a St. Paul-based attorney who's filed hundreds of lawsuits alleging sexual abuse by priests and bishops since 1983. He filed last week's lawsuit against the Vatican in a Milwaukee court and wants the Church to release any files it has on sexual abuse cases involving priests. It was his discovery of previously undisclosed documents that fueled the latest wave of accusations, leading all the way up to the Vatican. Jeff Anderson, we welcome you to Democracy Now!
Thank you.
It's very good to have you with us. Okay, why don't you lay out the documents that you have uncovered?
Well, the most recent documents involving Lawrence Murphy out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, have revealed to us, as we had known before, there is a direct documentary link from the cover-up of the priests at the local level by the Archbishop to the Vatican, and in that case, it directly implicates then Cardinal Ratzinger and all those at the Department of the CDF at the Vatican.
Explain CDF.
CDF is a congregation for the doctrine of faith appointed by the pontiff to really keep these matters under secrecy seals and to investigate them to avoid scandal. And what the documents show us, as we have known for 25 years, is that the Vatican is really intending to keep the reputation of the clerics and the Catholic Church intact. And while doing so, they are really imperiling the well-being of the children worldwide.
How did you get involved with this case?
Well, this case is one of many we have been working on for 25 years, and the case involving Lawrence Murphy in particular, the documents came to us in forced discovery as a result of suits we brought some years ago. And these are documents that were just revealed to us in the case brought in Milwaukee, which is one of many that have been brought across the country. What we're learning and what we have known to be the case for 25 years is that all roads are leading to Rome, that the decisions are made at the top of the pyramid by the Vatican. What we know is that the documentary trails that are being revealed are showing that just like Lawrence Murphy and Archbishop Weakland covering up locally, they're doing so under directions from Rome, from the pontiff, from the Pope and his predecessor. And their directions and their laws and their protocols, which is what's so alarming, require every cleric, every bishop, every cardinal, all the way to Rome to keep these matters secret, to avoid scandal of the universal church, and in so doing, their concern is more about their reputation than the well-being of the children.
I was just in Wisconsin last night. Milwaukee, the story of this priest. Lay it out in detail.
Well, Lawrence Murphy was a priest that was in charge of the deaf school at St. John's in Milwaukee, and he had many kids there who were impaired by reason of the fact they could not speak, and particularly vulnerable, most of them Catholic. He would roam the dorms at night, picking out kids that he chose, and clearly is revealed to everyone there that he abused not dozens, but hundreds of kids. That became known in the 50s, 60s, 70s. In the mid-70s, scandal was about to break, and they moved him to another location at another place in Wisconsin. Then in the mid-90s, scandal was about to break again, and at that time the Archbishop couldn't control the outbreak of scandal, so he sought the assistance of Cardinal Ratzinger, then at the Vatican, and said, you need to take jurisdiction on this, we have to avoid scandal and remove this priest. Cardinal Ratzinger, through his deputy and others, made a decision at that time, while knowing that he abused many, many kids over many decades, became more concerned about their reputation, and thus, as the documents have revealed to us, made the decision that they will keep Lawrence Murphy in ministry because it would be more scandalous to remove him than to keep him. So they allowed him to stay in ministry, in good standing, until his death, all the while ignoring the pleas of countless families and kids who were suffering in secrecy and silence and some shame.
The Catholic Church talks about forgiveness and wanting to give these priests a chance, one of the things that they have said. Yet when they discover a gay priest, they are out immediately. Not the same when it comes to a pedophile.
Well, there are some deep contradictions in their particular theology, but what concerns us and the survivors most is their concern about a reputation. And when they discover an offending priest versus a gay priest, let's say, but an offending priest, a priest that commits crimes, they're more concerned about concealing the crimes and protecting that priest and protecting their reputation than they are about removing that priest or reporting them to the law enforcement authorities, which they never, ever, if rarely, do.
Explain this latest wave of allegations. I mean, they've been coming out over years, but this one clearly is a tidal wave that